Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today we got to talk about this chart. It's the one that you don't want to miss. It's the one that shows when Bitcoin goes parabolic. So let's discuss it, and let's discuss everything else that's going on this week and more. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Unfortunately, Bitcoin took a little dip since this morning. About $63,000 still ain't too bad. A lot of the alts, to be quite frank, have been holding really well. Really well. You could see right here, most of the alts are still in green, with Ton doing a little recovery. You have a lot of AI coins going up. Sol's up, Stacks is up, BNB up, Jupiter's up. You got a lot of good movers, right? So overall, not bad. But why did Bitcoin dip a little bit? Well, today, we sold off. For whatever reason, NASDAQ, tech sold off today a little bit. S&P sold off a little bit. But Dow Jones hit a new high, all-time high. So, overall, not sure what happened today, but I did see this. And somehow this is actually really important. Increased sausage demand could be a worrying sign on the economy. All right, I don't think anyone out there thinks that increased sausage demand actually is a signal on the economy, but apparently it is. I guess sausage is one of the cheapest foods that you can buy. So what this means is when people are trying to save or they're out of money, they tend to buy sausages. So this may be a worrying sign. However, this is a good sign because, hey, Fed Chair Powell needs signs like this, a slowing economy, to help him decide, hey, how much should I cut? 50 basis points? Yes, based on increased sausage demand. 25 basis points? Less sausage. I'm just making that up. But it is. I mean, this is why it's relevant. Because he does need to see the labor force go down. He does need to see the economy numbers, like job numbers and consumer confidence and all that stuff. He wants to see it go down. And this is actually a signal. No joke at all. So next time you go buy some sausage, you buy a lot of sausage, keep that in mind. All right, well, outside of sausage demand, what else is there? MicroStrategy, this is amazing. Okay, MicroStrategy's stock has outperformed NVIDIA since August 10, 2020. NVIDIA is probably like the hottest stock there is. But people don't understand that MicroStrategy, their stock has done better. Because, why? They decided to implement the Bitcoin strategies thanks to Michael Saylor. That's amazing. That is absolutely mind-boggling and staggering, right? But that's what Bitcoin does for a business, for a publicly traded business, and what it's going to do for countries and everyone else out there. I mean, it's quite amazing, right? And the reason why I bring up NVIDIA, because NVIDIA has a big earnings. I'll get to that in a little bit, right? And it does affect a certain category in crypto. What else is there? Bitcoin poised to break out as U.S. money market reaches 6.2 trillion. What does this mean? The money is about to flow. Investors have poured $90 billion in U.S. funds this month, but we also know the M2 money supply is increasing, and when the rate gets cut next month, we will have more money swashing around in the economy. So bottom line, when the money starts flowing, that's when investments and assets start going up in price. That's really what it means, right? We saw on Friday a huge net inflow into Bitcoin ETFs, right? 252 million. That's a lot, but look at this. Investment advisors have purchased $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin ETFs in Q2 alone of this year. That's amazing. That's amazing, right? So overall, we got a ton of buying. Buying Bitcoin ETFs is basically institutions' way of buying Bitcoin. It's just really much easier for them to do. And into us, these fund makers have to buy physical Bitcoin when their shares are being purchased, right? So you got massive amount of purchasing right now. In fact, BlackRock themselves bought 4,000 of their own Bitcoin ETF, and they put it into their strategic global bond fund. You know how I always say BlackRock never has any outflows? I show you guys this all the time. Today, Fidelity and Bitwise both had outflows. This one also had outflow, VanEck, right? We don't have the number for BlackRock, but I'll bet you it's either going to be zero or there's going to be a net inflow. You notice that there is no outflow. Why is that? Because BlackRock keeps buying their own ETFs. This is their way. This is Larry Fink's way to make sure that there is no outflow. There's only inflow. BlackRock wants to control as much Bitcoin and accumulate as much Bitcoin as they can. It's really that simple. We don't want BlackRock to control so much Bitcoin. This is not a good thing. Okay, that's why I advise you guys to hodl what you have. Don't panic for FUD, right? Don't panic sell. And if you can, continue to DCA, because one day Bitcoin's going to be too expensive. It's going to be hard to accumulate, especially when the likes of BlackRock continues to add billions upon billions to their fund. Now, this is what I want to show you guys, okay? And I pointed this out before, but I'm glad finally someone made a chart that is very easy to understand. For those that have been complaining, why is Bitcoin not going to 100,000 yet? Why is it stuck at 60-something thousand? This and that. Why are we going sideways? You got all these guys that are so impatient. And here's the bottom line. Every single cycle so far, you see that banana phase that a lot of people refer to, or the parabolic phase. You see that happen after elections every single time. Now, does that mean that you don't go upwards until then? No, you obviously, if you look at this, you see September, October timeframe, it starts going up. But the parabolic phase happens after elections time. And you notice this cycle right now, we went up quickly, very quickly in March, right? So we're ahead of the game. Prior cycles around March through September, still below all-time high, right? But we're nearly there. We're almost in September, and we know we have a big catalyst in September, that very first rate cut in the US, right? And then we got October and November, and that's when things will get wild, right? And you could see what happened after the elections from the prior cycles. You saw in the last one, the green, we went straight up to 64,000, and then eventually ended up at 69,000. In the prior cycle, we went straight up to $20,000. So where will we end up this time, right? 200,000, 250, 300, 500,000? Who knows? But we're going to go a lot higher. We're certainly going to break six figures. We'll probably go break six figures before the end of this year. And that's when it's going to get really interesting. Really, really interesting, right? So again, to put things in perspective, Bitcoin does not rise immediately after a halving event. It rises toward the end of that year during a halving event. It just so happens to be election year every single halving year because it's every 4 years, right? It's really that simple. Now, from a short-term perspective, right, where can we expect Bitcoin to go? Well, according to this, the next levels will be 95,000, right below that magical six-figure point. Then we're going to hit 143,000. This is using Fibonacci levels. And then after that, who knows? But according to this, we may hit 143,000 by the end of the year. That's what this is indicating. That would be awesome. I can't even imagine if Bitcoin ends this year at $143,000, then where will it be by the end of 2025? 300, 400, 500,000? We just don't know. We don't know. But hey, we don't have to wait very long to find out. It's going to happen. Just have patience. I know when you look at it and wait for it every single day, it makes you feel like it's an eternity. But no, we're getting really close. The parabolic phase is coming up. So this is when you need to hold strong, look towards the future, and continue to hold on DCA. It's really that simple, right? You don't want to miss out on this. And when this happens to Bitcoin, watch out, because those alts, they will replicate. Not only that, they will go to the moon. That's why we have alts. That's why we hold alts, because alts during the right moments go insane, right? Now, speaking of alts, what are some to pay attention to? Well, I did mention this week we have a big NVIDIA's earnings day, right? And NVIDIA has to do with AI, which is why a lot of AI tokens are doing well. Even the ones that are indirectly related to AI, they're doing well too, right? So let's see what happens in NVIDIA. If they have a spectacular quarter once again, which I'm expecting, it's going to not only pump them, but also pump a lot of AI-related crypto. And also, this is interesting. This is coming up next week or a couple weeks. Apple, they're going to announce their new iPhones, and supposedly they're going to have AI features as well. So is AI going to be the big story of the new iPhones and all phones and everything in the future? Yes. AI is going to be absolutely fantastic. There are some amazing things that's happening in this space, but we're only at the beginning. We're only at the beginning. And crypto intersecting with AI, it's just so natural. So natural, right? And you have a lot of plays, like Fetch, who has now become Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, ASI, right? Between Singularity, Fetch, Ocean. Not complete yet, but they are definitely, I would say, the biggest in the space. But there are others that are also quite huge and related. Render, for example. Render is also huge. They're in the AI space. Not only that, the parent company of Render also does a lot of coding for basically all the big tech companies out there. Now, it doesn't mean that all these tech companies are using Render directly, but there could be a close tie-up in the future as well. So that is an interesting connection there. So Render is also in that space too. And you know what else is in that? BitTensor. BitTensor is, and it's quite interesting. If you look at the top projects with the largest staking ratio, BitTensor is one of them at 87.4%. It's the largest by far. Then you got like Sui and Aptos and all these others. But a lot of them, right? They're just chains that are supporting AI. So AI, directly, indirectly, you got a lot of projects that are going to ride the wave, the AI wave, right? Either this week with NVIDIA or next year, because AI is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it. I did see a couple other things. Base Network. I'm not quite sure if they're in AI, but Base Network, known kind of for like memes, surpassed 1 million daily active addresses for the first time. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're growing by leaps and bounds. And I also saw this. PayPal stablecoins hits 1 billion market cap. Incentives boost activity grows on Solana. So absolutely fantastic. Although I still don't know one person that I've ever met that have said, I have PayPal stablecoin. So I don't know who's using the $1 billion, right? But good for Solana. Good for Solana. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let me scroll up here. Let's see if I missed anything. Davis Beams has been watching for a while. Really appreciate your positivity. It helped me not to sell off more than a few times. Keep up great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad I was able to help. Let's see. Sausage. A lot of sausage. Comments. Down Under Blue says, I'm so impatient. Well, crypto does teach people to be patient. It did for me, so it's not a bad thing. Turbo Toad asks, do you think we'll go sideways until the rate cut? No, I think we're going to trend higher. We're going to trend higher for sure. Let's see. Thoughts on AIs? I know they're in the AI space, but I don't hear much about them, to be quite frank. $500 million. They debuted in 2021. Debuted in 2021. It's not far off. They need to go like a 5x, no, 4x, 5x to get back to the previous high. They made some strides earlier this year. Man, they were like quite dead during this time, 2023. Yeah, I don't know too much about them, but they could be interesting if they're related to AI. Chris, when you went fishing, what were you fishing for next time taking Dramamine? I did take the Dramamine. It didn't help. It helped for like 30 minutes, and then things got really bad because those fish are like the captain just going nuts, really nuts. I don't know. They caught like they caught a few, you know, like barracudas and some other fish. Some of them were quite big, but I couldn't pay attention because I was so sick. I was really sick. Do you think memes will slow down this run and more money will flow into alts? No. I actually think it's the opposite. I think more money will flow into memes. The hotter the market gets, the more hot the memes will get. Memes have slowed down because, you know, we kind of took a breather since March, right? But the hotter the meme get, the hotter the chains they are on will get. So in return, you're going to see a lot of alts, especially L1s, L2s, get really hot. I think memes are going to get really hot. And then, of course, I think AI is going to be carried by the AI wave. They will get hot. What I don't know for sure is and DeFi, DePIN, they're always going to be, you know, decent plays. But what I don't know is games. Will they get hot? I think games will. But not quite sure. Games have really struggled. But maybe. Have I been to Bahamas? Yes, I have. I visited the Atlantis Resort, which is, they have beautiful beaches, but the biggest ripoff in anything at the hotel. a bottle of water costs you like $8 or $10. It's crazy. If you buy a big bottle of water, it's like $20. So eating there, drinking there, any drinks that you have on a beach, stupidly expensive. Jason Spears, I like to see you bring back George Reacts, where you review your old streams from 2017. We can compare how old crypto projects are doing now. I don't remember I was doing George Reacts. You mean just like randomly looking at some of my old streams? I could do that, but all of them are doing better now. Like, there's virtually nothing, unless they went under. Like, anything from 2017 till now is much, much higher. But I'll probably do more like I told you so videos as we trend higher. Once we break 100,000 and we're sitting at 150,000, I'll do videos where we were at 3,000, 10,000, 30,000, 60,000, telling you guys to stay strong and focus on the future. Do you think ETH will reach all-time high? Eventually. Eventually it will. I went to a Dave Ramsey conference in Atlanta. You're right. Everything outrageously expensive. Oh, in Atlantis. Oh, I thought it was Atlanta. Yeah. If you go outside, like the hotels, and you go into like a local store, it's cheap. But if you're staying within the resorts, be prepared to be like ripped off, basically. What would RFK and Trump administration mean for crypto? Well, hopefully he advises and does a good job. I don't know what he's actually going to do. But he was the most bullish candidate we had for crypto, at least. Nico said food prices are way too expensive. I seriously don't see them dropping prices. It's been years. They're not. They're not. Powell in his early days would say, hey, inflation is not entrenched. We're going to lower inflation, blah, blah, right? Like, even though CPI and everything shows that inflation has come down to 2.9%, but ultimately, I don't know, like all food prices are higher. You go to a restaurant, it's not $10 a meal, it's $20 a meal. You go to anywhere, supermarket shopping, it's like you can't come out with under $100 in grocery. You go to Costco, you can't come out with $200 worth of stuff. Everything is more expensive. So I don't know how, this measurement of inflation, they're just measuring year over year, but like after 10 years, you're still seeing like a 30 or 40% increase. Things won't ever get cheaper. That's for sure. That's why you need to hold on to assets. Hold on to assets like Bitcoin that will out appreciate inflation. Yeah, transitory. That's what it is, not entrenched. That inflation is transitory, skipping stones. Yeah, but it's not transitory. It's entrenched. Where do you see the price of Sol in January? Much, much, much higher. I don't know. Could be like $300. Costco run in Hawaii for essentials is 350 plus. Yeah, like I can't really come out of Costco without spending at least 200, but most of the time it's like 300. I mean, yes, you could get their chicken for $4.99, but everything else is quite expensive. You think Beam will hit 25 cents? Well, they're in that gaming category, so no, I don't think Beam is going to hit 25 cents. That's like 25x, so no. $200 at Costco, 3 months worth of food. No, it is not. Especially when it's just not. Elmer says that ZR1 looks insane. Have you seen what markups are going to be or the price? I don't know. Z06s are no longer marked up. The economy kind of sucks. So not a whole lot of people are buying exotic cars. Z06s now can be bought below MSRP. So I don't know. I think dealerships will try to mark up the very first few ZR1s, but then they're gonna come crashing down. So don't buy one at above MSRP. Bearded Biker says Cadena will moon eventually. Okay. Ava Angel, my Costco bill is seldom under 400. Now 400 is getting real serious, man. You must buy a lot of meat. A lot of meat. Joe Flunky says, best way to describe inflation to anyone is that story our grandparents would say a burger was less than $1 growing up. Yeah, it was. Even though there are some places that are still trying to keep like, I actually don't know if there's anywhere that has dollar menus anymore, but even like a double cheeseburger, which I think is like $2.50 or $3. You look at a patty size, it's like half of a patty that existed like 5 years ago. I'm talking about somewhere like McDonald's. They have shrunken tremendously. Last time I went to Five Guys, I got a burger. I got a burger and fries and a drink, and it was like $20 at Five Guys. No, I think it may have been more than $20 because I think the regular burger is like $13 or $14, or maybe it's $15. No, I think it was like $25. I forgot, but it's just insane that it's just insane how much prices are. My boosted German fleet. I got gas for 79 cents a gallon when I started driving. I stopped looking at a price of a 93 a long time ago. Yeah, when I was like a kid, I remember gas being under $1. Gas actually, has been. I'm actually surprised gas hasn't gone up more. I figure by now, with inflation, gas should be above $10 a gallon. I know, like in Europe and other places, they are already. U.S. I think we were lucky because I don't know they opened up their own oil reserve. U.S. opened up its own oil reserve or something. Um, so we have kept gas lower than I think a lot of other nations for sure. Um, because we've been stuck between like $3 to $4 for like over a decade, but other things have not held like that. My Walmart checkup history is up threefold. Canada. Everyone hates Canada. Deputy Dog, I dollar cost average $2 to $5 every day into Sol, and now I have 35. Man, congrats. $2 to $5 every day. See, if you saved, a lot of people buy their Starbucks every day on the way to work or on the way back or when they're bored. I mean, kids, like every teen seems to like hang out at Starbucks. Like you take all that and you just put it into Sol or Bitcoin or even ETH or BNB Avalanche. You just do that for years. I mean, you go end up having tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars just after maybe 5 years. What do you think about Node AI GPU? It was very hyped up, Arj. Very hyped up. A lot of influencers are pumping it. Um, they're deep in play, right? They're deep in on Sol, I think. Only 75 million. No, they're on Ethereum. I thought they were deep in play on Sol, but now I'm thinking of another one. Yeah, I remember this. So it's like a Flux competitor, right? But it does seem like they're on ETH, which may be a problem. All time, they're not far off from their top. They're not far off. Looks like they're more of like a deep in play, but also in the AI space. Nadia, appreciate that. Uh, Canada rocks. You're like the first person I've said that. Common quote from my 13-year-old daughter: Dad, I'm going to the mall. Can I borrow the Coinbase card? That's pretty dangerous. She may come back one day. You got no more Bitcoin. I'm just thinking like when I was growing up. First of all, I didn't get my cell phone until I was in college, and it was a flip phone. Um, I did not drink coffee until college too. It's only because I had to wake up at like 5 something to go to like a 7 o'clock, class or 6:30 class or whatever, and I forced myself to drink coffee only to stay up. But now you got like 13-year-old kids going to Starbucks to buy coffee because it's cool, and you got 9-year-olds and 8-year-olds with smartphones that can't get off of them. Yeah, that's how much the world has changed. What did I do in my old house? I'm renting it out. Come back down to South Florida. I'm good. Adrian, Bitcoin is crashing again. What's going on? Help. I hope you're trolling, man. Because if you're not trolling, I feel like I should just ban you. Any thoughts on Shiba Inu right now? Nope. If you've been holding this long, you might as well just keep holding. It's going to come back. I just don't know how far it's going to go after it hits its previous high. Based on your recent travels, their city would relocate to? Probably like, probably like San Diego. I still like San Diego. I love La Jolla, that area. I love that the temperature, beaches there. It's a beautiful city. I'd probably move to San Diego. Other cities, they're good in their own way, but like it's not good enough for me to move there. But I think San Diego would be great. Are you an ICP believer? No, I am not. Why would you ban me? I gave you hot dog money because you asked a stupid question. So I hope you were trolling. When do you think Ethereum will hit a new all-time high? I really don't know. Bitcoin hits all-time high. Ethereum is still way off from its all-time high, so it would have to be sometime next year, maybe early next year, depending on how high Bitcoin goes. Ethereum still has to like double basically, right? Like almost 5,000. So Bitcoin probably has to be well above 100,000 for Ethereum to be that high. So probably, yeah, maybe there's a chance end of the year, but I'd say most likely sometime next year. All right, guys, that is it. I told you guys the exact time when Bitcoin goes parabolic. So hopefully you guys are staying strong, staying focused. Like I've been saying every single stream, there are a lot of great things going on. Pay attention. That's it. That's it. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time as always, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.